Are home prices dropping in Oregon? Stay tuned and you'll find out. Hi, I'm Nora Spangler with Rogue Real Estate here in beautiful Bend, Oregon. I make videos about moving to Bend, living in Bend, buying and selling real estate in Bend. So if those topics interest you, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you would. I'd really appreciate it. Click that subscribe button down below and then you'll get notified every week when I do a new video. Let's get started talking about what happened last month in June in our real estate market. So I have some good news and some bad news. Let's go with the good news first. The first piece of good news is that we are starting to see price reductions. So those sellers that kind of overshot the market in the last month or so and their homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer than they want, we are seeing those prices start to come down. That is a change from a few months ago when everything was selling in 1 or 2 days and there was not a price reduction to be seen on the market. So that's great news. The second thing is the number of homes listed for sale last month, so new on the market, is up 14% from the month before. So that's good news. We got more homes to sell. And if you look back over the past 5 years, typically this time of year, we would have between 400 and 500 new listings coming on the market. We had 411 in June, so we're getting pretty close to what would be considered a normal year. The third piece of good news is that our days on market jumped 1 whole day. I know, it doesn't really seem like a lot. The median days on market since January has been only 4 days, and it jumped up to 5 days in June. So that is a 25% increase in the time on market for homes. So it's not a lot, but it is something. It shows us that the market is moving in the direction we want, at least for buyers. So the fourth piece of good news is that when we're talking about how much over the list price, so that 100% of list price, how much over that are people typically paying in our market? Well, it's been over 100% for a few months now, but it dropped slightly last month by 0.5%. So the median percentage over the list price is at 102.9, and that is 0.5% lower than it was last month. So it shows the market is moving in the right direction, getting a tiny bit more balanced. Don't get me wrong, we are still in a super strong seller's market. But for buyers, it's just a tiny bit of good news. Number 5, I reached out to some of my colleagues, other agents in the market, to find out what their thoughts are on just the market as a whole. Is it cooling off? Is it dropping like a rock? From all the viewpoints I gathered, the consensus among realtors in Bend, including myself, is that the market is starting to cool off slightly. So we're not going to see a big drop in prices, but it's taking a little bit longer for homes to sell, and the frenzy of having 20 or 30 offers the first weekend a home goes on the market has dropped off significantly, and we're maybe seeing 4 to 6 offers on a home. So it's not like it was a few months ago, and if you're a buyer and you dropped out of the market because you were just overwhelmed by the situation of how many offers you had to compete with, it might be worth getting back into the market and seeing what's going on if you can snag a home over the summer. Another piece of good news for buyers is that interest rates are still historically low. And I looked at what some of the experts are saying, mortgage experts, and it looks like for the next 90 days, interest rates are going to remain low around 3%, maybe bump up a little bit like 3.25%, but still that is a great rate. And if you can afford to get into a house now, it is still a good thing to do. All right, my last piece of good news for buyers is that new construction is on the way. Yay! Yes, finally, several new home developments are coming online this summer and this winter, so you should have more options if you're interested in new construction. And if you are interested in new construction, check out my new construction playlist right here. I have lots of new videos that I've created lately about new construction, the buying process, upgrades you should and shouldn't do, so take a look at those videos. If you're thinking about moving to Bend, click the link below and grab my relocation guide. I'd be happy to talk to you anytime about moving to Bend. And if you're thinking about listing your home this year, please reach out to me. I'd love to educate you on the 3 Ps of getting the highest price for your home in any market. Okay, let's talk about some of the bad news. 541 homes went pending in June. 541! That is the most homes that went under contract since we've been keeping records in 2002. Seriously, that is a huge number, and those are going to become closed sales, most of them probably, in the next month or two, and so our sold numbers are going to be quite high, which is typical in the summer, but still, 541, that's a huge number. People are still buying homes in Bend. The demand is really high, and what that is doing is keeping pressure on prices, and prices are still rising. So that's the next piece of bad news, is that the city of Bend's median single-family home price is now at $715,000. That's not a number I ever thought would come out of my mouth. Now, keep in mind, that is just the 1 month number. It's not averaged out over the year. So when you average the numbers, it's around $600,000. But I'm just looking at month by month numbers and comparing them to a year ago. So that whopping number of $715,000 is about 44% higher than our prices were a year ago. And it's about 10% up over last month and about 14% up from January of this year. But don't let that $715,000 number scare you too much, because that means it's the median. So half of all the homes that sold in Bend, single-family homes, sold for less than that. So there are still homes under that price range. And let's take a quick look at what homes are for sale in different price ranges. So right now in Bend, there are only 18 homes for sale that are under $500,000. Most of the new construction homes that are coming online are in the $500,000 to $600,000 range, so they're above the $500,000 mark. There's a few more homes in the $500,000 to $600,000 range. That number was 40 homes for sale. There are 36 homes for sale between $600,000 and $700,000. Between $700,000 and $800,000, there are 26 homes for sale. In all price ranges, we only have about 280 homes for sale right now. Our inventory is just super low. It got blasted. It all went under contract in June. So now in mid-July, there's not a lot on the market. It's pretty slim pickings. So what does this mean for buyers and sellers? Let's get practical. For buyers, the basic things still hold true. You need to be pre-approved first before you even think of looking at homes. Really, it's just a waste of time until you have that pre-approval letter in your hand from a qualified lender. Be realistic with your budget. Let's not get house poor, okay? So don't fall into the trap of buying more home than you can really afford. Look at your overall budget and be realistic. Be very flexible with your wish list. I know, especially first-time home buyers, it's tough. But just getting into the home buying market is a win for you. So try not to worry too much about all of the particulars that you were hoping to get. If you get a solid quality home in Bend, you're already a winner. If you need help, you know who to call. All my contact information is below. I love working with first-time home buyers. And here's my top #1 strategy for getting a home in this crazy market. Try looking for homes a little bit above your price range that have been on the market for maybe a week to 2 weeks. That means they might be overpriced. They probably haven't had any offers yet. So they're going to be open to looking at just about any offer. So sellers in this market, well, you've got all the advantages, but you still have to be smart. Buyers are smart. Buyers are not willing to just dump a ton of money and not get value for it. So follow the 3 Ps. What are those? Prepare, price, and promote. Those are the 3 P's for selling your home. I've seen a lot of listings that have horrible photographs and they're overpriced, so they're just sitting there. Don't do that. If you're serious about selling your home, you've got to price it correctly. My suggestion and my #1 strategy for sellers is pricing just under what you feel the market value is. I know it might feel a little scary, but don't worry. The market is going to drive up the price. There is so much demand for homes in Bend that if you price it just below, you're going to attract all the attention, and that's what you want. All the showings, all the offers to come in within the first few days. It'll all be over and you will have gotten the best price for your home. Thanks so much for coming to my channel and watching my video today. If you would give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button, you'll get notified every time I do a new video, which is once a week at least.